Hey, everybody. Welcome to Deserts of Plenty, the podcast about making our way in this crazy mixed up world and talking about the three kinds of pillars of health: mental, physical, and spiritual, and coming up with ways that we can understand ourselves better and the world better so that we can have a fulfilling life, a happy life, a contented life, whatever it is you're searching. Because in my experience, being on this planet for nearly 57 years, a lot of things that I thought were true turned out to be completely not true. I've had quite a journey, and I think there's a lot of lessons in there that I've learned that I would like to share, and maybe there's something in here that you can get out of it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, my name is Ralph, and I welcome you here. So today I want to talk about the classic double bind, the no-win situation, the damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario that often gets presented to us. In my experience, and I've had some experiences with narcissists, I find that they are particularly good at imposing these things. But I think probably we all do it, even if we don't intend to do it. But we give people a no-win situation. So I'll give you the classic situation. This is the classic double bind. It is the student and the master. The master summons the student, and the master is holding in their hands a giant club. And the master says to the student, "What is this? If you say that it is a stick, I will beat you with it. If you say that it is not a stick, I will also beat you with it." So the question is, what does the student do? And I know if you're like me, you're thinking about all kinds of crazy little ways to get out of that. Saying, "I can't see anything. I have no eyes," whatever. But that's the situation. And there's no way to worm your way out of it. It's what does the student do? Now, on the surface of it, of course, there seems to be no way. There's no good answer. You can call it a stick, get beat. You can say it's not a stick, get beat. Not say anything, get beat because he's not calling it a stick. So there really seems to be no way out of it. And I'll give you the answer in a second, but think about it, or you can pause, turn this thing off, think about it, come back. I'll give it to you at the end. But this sort of no-win situation, the double bind, gets presented to us all the time. Or I shouldn't say it does. I mean, I see it happens to me, and I'm sure people do it, set you up in a way that there seems to be no way. Anyway, so I'll tell you my story because it's quite illuminating, I think, and it's definitely a red flag when this happens to you. Anyway, so I had a few years ago, I'd started a new relationship with somebody. Let's call this person. I'm trying to think of a name. I don't know anybody who's named Beatrice. B. Call it B. So B decided. Not decided. She came to me after we were dating and we were starting to get serious. And I was renting my old apartment at the time, and she came to me and she said, I know you lived with another person in this place, and so it has a lot of memories for you. And she said to me, I would feel more comfortable, Ralph, if you found a new place to live, so we can build our own memories in a new place. And I thought about that for a while, and I knew I couldn't move just because you wanted to. I had to also want it. So I thought about it, and I'm an empath, and so I could see things from her point of view. Yes, there were some things there, and maybe she would have lingering thoughts about, me being in that place with someone else. Anyway, so long story short, I said yes. I once I made up my mind that I wanted to move, I started finding all kinds of problems with my old place, and I became really excited about it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm moving, and I feel like I'm moving for myself, and this is great." So anyway, the date came closer to the fact. So I gave my notice. I found a new place, and it was, of course, it was going to be a couple months before I moved. And as that date came closer, B became much more agitated, and I was finally asked, "So what's going on?" And she said, "Well, you're moving." I was like, "Yes, as you asked me to do." "Yes," she said, "but now I feel trapped. I was like, what? She goes, well, because you've done this big thing for me that now once you're in a new place, you'll always have that to hold over me. And now I feel like I'm trapped. I'm bound to you in some way because you've done this thing for me. And there we are, right? That is a classic no-win situation. I was damned if I didn't move, she would have been very mad at me. And by moving, she became mad at me. She found a way. So the thing about the double binds is that, it's not about the thing itself, right? It's about trying to get you in a way that you're stuck. No matter what I did in that situation, I was going to be, there's no way to win. So just like the student and the master. So what does the student do? Okay. So what the student does is he takes the stick out of the master's hands and he breaks it. So the answer to the double bind situation is not to play the game. I see what you're doing, but I have not given permission to play this game. And so I'm not going to play the game your way. I'm not going to accept those rules because I never said that I would. And so you find a new way out. And so that's what the answer to that riddle, if you want, is that the student takes the sticks, breaks it. But the underlying thing is I refuse to play the game your way. And so what did I do? Well, I've already committed to moving. I can't now uncommit to moving. Plus, at this point, I was excited about moving. I found a better place. It was more money, but it had a much bigger kitchen, which always bugged me. It's a problem I have with living in condo units is the kitchen drives me bananas because I like to cook and I like to spread out and have room. Anyway, so I've already committed to moving, so I can't uncommit to moving. So what did I do? I just called it right out. And I said, this is what's happening. You had a problem with me staying, and now you have a problem with me moving. You put me in an impossible situation. I couldn't get out. There was no way for me to come out of this in any way other than being a bad guy. And that was intentionally orchestrated. I mean, not with conscious thought, but during the development of this thing, that's what happened. There's no way. And I said that right to her, to which she said, whatever. And that's the thing about narcissists. You can grab their head and force them to stare into exactly what they do. And they'll just say, whatever, why are you so worked up? It's not a big deal. Anyway, so beware the double bind situation. If you find yourself in it, the best thing to do is not play the game. Refuse to play it. So what happened with me and my ex? Well, we broke up shortly after that. Before I moved, actually. She never saw my new place. Anyway, and I'm much better for it. That's it for today, everybody. So have a good week. We'll see y'all again soon. Take care. Bye.